know that the break was short, and we apologize for that. There's just so much energy, right? And we're trying to capture it all at once. We only have a couple days left. I'm very excited to meet all of you. I hope I get to talk to some of you even more. And I want to reiterate again, thank you so, so much for making the commitment and the journey to DC. Without you, we really could not do the work that we do. We need collective action to demand the changes that we want to see in Congress. And you are the powerful force that we need to continue mobilizing our communities to advocate for issues that we all care deeply about. So, before I get started, I want to know how everybody's feeling right now. So if you could just shout out a word to describe your energy, how you're showing up in these spaces, that would be great. So for me, I've had 3 cups of coffee, right? So my energy is like, whew, up there, right? I'm from California, so the 3 hour, okay, all right. So the 3 hour difference is, kicking in. But anyways, so just shout out a word that describes how you're feeling.
Free Palestine.
Sleepy. Free Palestine. More. Good. Genocide. Encouraged. I think everybody needs a little bit more coffee. I think that might be it. All right, well, thank you once again. So for those of you that don't know me yet, my name is Jessica Baena, and I am the National Field Organizer here at FCNL. I joined about 2 years ago, and this is my second Spring Lobby weekend that I've attended. And it's just been so exciting to see the power of young adults, advocating for issues that you care about. We need to see that more and more and more. So today we're going to be talking about ways in which you can engage with FCNL after Spring Lobby weekend, right? Because there's power in numbers. So imagine what we can do if we bring our friends, our families, and our communities to lobby visits to really talk about the change that we want to see in Congress. So it's amazing that we get to see all of you today, but we really want to be part of your advocacy journey. So today we're going to be talking about different ways in which you can engage with us after Spring Lobby weekend. So today I have the pleasure to have a panel discussion with my amazing coworkers. So I will have them introduce themselves, and then they're going to be talking about ways in which you can stay active with FCNL. So feel free to introduce yourself and maybe a word that describes how you are feeling today.
Hi, friends. I am Micah McCall-Nicholson. I got to speak with you yesterday, but I am so excited and grateful to be back. And again, I'm the program assistant for Quaker Outreach here at FCNL. And I think the word that it just came to me, funky. I'm feeling funky. I don't know, in like a good way, That's a good word.
Okay, testing. Hello, everyone. My name is Muan, she, her, and I work as the advocacy team's organizer at FCNL. And today I'm feeling locked in.
I like that.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Sophie Garner. I am an advocacy corps organizer from Portland, Maine. And I'm tired today, to be honest. So
I hear that as well. Okay, well, thank you all so much. So first, we're going to start with Micah. So talk about how can people get involved with our Quaker engagement program at FCNL?
Yeah, I would love to. So I work as a part of our Quaker engagement department at FCNL as a Quaker lobbying organization. This is a really important part of the work we do. So we interact with Quaker communities from across the country, and what we're trying to do with our work is really strengthen their voice and their presence in Washington. So that's part of my job, and I get to meet a lot of wonderful people like you all. So the first opportunity that I want to uplift for you all and encourage you to attend post-Spring Lobby weekend is our April Quaker Changemaker series. So we have these events usually monthly, sometimes bi-monthly, depending on, we don't have one this month because of Spring Lobby Weekend, but our one in April will be on Spring Lobby Weekend follow-up. So we will do a little bit of recap about the work that you all have done this weekend, about the lobbying visits that you will be going on. But then the second half of that conversation will be about the work towards reconciliation and towards reparations that you can do in your own communities. So it will be uplifting the work of Quaker communities and how we interact with those in impacted communities and uplifting their experiences and their voices. We want to bring some Quaker founding to these conversations and to the issues that we're focusing on in each of them, but a big part of these events and the work that we do is uplifting and giving space for people to share their experiences, their work, and then how we can support that. So I encourage you to attend that. It will be at the end of April on Wednesday, April 24th, and you all will be getting an email to register, and we hope you will attend. It's all virtual, so you can Zoom in from anywhere in the world, any time zone that you would like, but we would love to see your faces there. The next event that I want to share is our Witness Wednesday Silent Reflection, which is a weekly space that we hold like we held this morning and like we'll be holding tomorrow morning. That's a time to really build community and center within ourselves. We invite attendees, usually general attendees that come to the Witness on a weekly basis to host the events. So they will bring a prompt and a query that the whole group will reflect on. It's been a wonderful experience to see what those participants bring to us and then what the reflections that others in the community have on what they brought. It's one of my favorite parts of my jobs because it's really just a time to be in community and sometimes put a pause on all of what's going on in the world and just have a time to reflect on that within yourself and then hear how others are reflecting on it. The last piece of engagement that I hope you all will think about and possibly get involved with is our Quaker guest house on Capitol Hill. I know there are some flyers and we have some staff. Olivia Delaplane, who's over there in the corner. She is one of our staff who works at Friends Place, and it is a Quaker guest house and civic engagement center. So they host up to 40 people. They host groups that want to come to Washington, D.C. to learn about what it's like to lobby with FCNL, what it's like to lobby Congress in general. And then they also do some individualized programming. So what your group feels led to lobby on, they can cater to that and they can really help build on strong programming that you all feel led to advocate on. So they work on education and training as a part of FCNL's education fund and really working towards a peaceful, just, and sustainable way of doing this work. I also want to uplift their social media handles, which is Friends Place DC. Easy peasy, Friends with the S, Place DC. That's on Facebook, if you use it, but Instagram, which I know many more of us use. And you can also schedule your trips if you go to friendsplace.org. If you have a school group, I know we have a lot of universities and high school groups in attendance. If you want to plan a trip to Washington, D.C. To do more of this advocacy, either on the Truth and Healing Commission or on some other topics, we really encourage you to do that and to get involved with some of the Quaker groundings of this work. And on that, I will pass it over to Juan to talk about some of our campus chapters.
Awesome. Alrighty, well, thank you so much, Micah. Maybe we can give Micah a round of applause for today and yesterday. Such a fantastic speaker and proof of the quality of my colleagues. So my name is Juan, like I mentioned, and to give you a little context about our campus chapters pilot program, I want to share with you all a little bit about what I do. So in my role as the advocacy team's organizer at FCNL, I actually work with people across the country who want to do advocacy and want to have the training and resources to do it in community with others around them, whether that be in their district or in their town or even in their state at large. They're looking for ways to plug in with others. So in the work that I do, I travel to many different states from Honolulu to Hartford, Connecticut, working with people who want to make peace and justice advocacy a daily and weekly, monthly part of their lives. Currently, we have about 140 active advocacy teams all around the country. These are made up of constituents who are all the way from 18 to 60 years old. And these folks work monthly, like month in and month out, to build meaningful relationships with their legislators, like you all are doing this weekend. And they also consistently engage with their local media by writing LTEs, posting on social media, as well as educate their communities through community events, et cetera. Who here is part of an advocacy team already? Oh, look at that. Well done. Well done. So this program's been around for about 8 years, and we've seen amazing success as these teams have supported different legislation around the country. And we are working now in collaboration with the fantastic young adult program staff who put on this conference to bring those lessons to college campuses. So something we hear very often from folks who come to Spring Lobby Weekend is, it was great to come to DC, we love it, it was super fun, and we know that this is not it. We want to do more. How can we do more? And we're building the structure of support to allow you to take the lessons you've learned here back to your campus and do more. So this is a pilot program that we've been developing. Over the past few months, we've been in very deep consultation with campuses across the country about how to improve access to advocacy for students who really care about these issues, but maybe can't go to DC on a whim, or want to do work in district. And we are moving into our second phase now, which is actually partnering directly with you all to start building those structures on your campus. So if you're finding the activities we're doing today, the conversations we've been having, engaging and important, I really want to invite you and encourage you to plug in here, and let's take this conversation back to your campus, not just on this critical issue, but on all the issues that we all care about very deeply. So I am excited to answer any questions about this pilot program. I hope you'll be part of the inaugural cohort, and I will pass it to the esteemed Sophie Garner.
Thank you. Round of applause.
Hey, excuse me if I'm looking at my phone and my notes, but so like I said, I'm an Advocacy Corps organizer. I'm from Maine. Like many of you in college and in high school, I cared deeply about federal issues, but didn't really know how to get involved beyond my local community, and I didn't know how to make a career out of it. So right after I graduated from college last year, I found a job posting for the FCNL Ambassador Program, which no longer exists. But I was lucky enough to connect with Jessica and worked for 10 months on expanding and extending the child tax credit. And clearly I didn't get my fill because I am still with FCNL. So I applied to the Advocacy Corps program. Shout out to my current Advocacy Corps people. I love you all. So we're currently working on community violence interruption programs, and a lot of us have also switched our work to ceasefire work. During the last 6 or 7 months, we've been invited to the White House to discuss our work. We've lobbied all of our representatives. We've worked together on organizing and lobbying strategy together, hosted events, been published in newspapers, and connected with a ton of leaders that work in ceasefire work and community violence interruption work. And so much more. We've done so many amazing things, and that is all because of the Advocacy Corps program. In my own state, I've been able to expand on my connections with local organizations, working on similar campaigns. I've worked on passing a ceasefire resolution in my city of Portland. I've had my congresswoman sign on to a ceasefire. Have had all 3 of my representatives support the child tax credit and community violence interruption programs. The list goes on and on. There's just so many things that we've had the opportunity to do. And again, because of the Advocacy Corps program. This program completely changed my life. I've been able to connect with a huge group of people that are like-minded and care deeply about the issues I care about. And these are lifelong friends. Every single person that's in the Advocacy Corps. I mean, seriously, yeah. I highly recommend participating in one of these programs. It will change your life like it changed mine, and I'm so happy to talk to you guys about it if you want to learn more. Yeah.
Thank you. round of applause for all these wonderful ladies. Awesome. So Mike will talk about Quaker engagement opportunities. Juan talked about campus chapters and maybe being part of that. And Sophie talked about the young adult program. There's also another opportunity in which you can also get involved with us, and that's during the congressional recess, right? So we do campaigns in February, and then there's going to be an April recess, so it's just around the corner, and we're going to be advocating on the Native American boarding school as well as ceasefire. And then we also do a campaign for the congressional recess, which is a month-long recess opportunity in which you can drop by your members of Congress office, talk about the issue that FCNL is currently advocating on or an issue that you care about, and also lobby them, right? Because they need to hear from us. They work for you. Right? You are the constituency, so they need to hear the power of your voice, and they need to hear about the issues that are impacting their community, right? So if this is an opportunity that you would like to engage with us, please do so, right? Because like I mentioned before, like there's power in numbers, and the fact that members of Congress are going to hear from 300 young adults from across the country on Tuesday is just phenomenal. Right? So we really want to keep that momentum going after Spring Lobby Weekend. So right now, if everybody can take out your packet and then go to the last page on your packet, there should be a QR code. Scan that QR code with your phone, and there's going to be a survey essentially asking you, how would you like to engage with us after Spring Lobby Weekend? But before we do that, if you have any questions for Micah, myself, Sophie, or Muan, I think we'll take about like maybe 3 or 4 questions before we actually do the survey. So if you have a question, please raise your hand, and then I can call on you. Okay, mic runners, we could do one in the front, right here. Right there.
Hello, I was wondering, are the campus chapters open to high schools or just exclusively like college and university campuses?
That's a great question. Juan, do you want to take that?
Of course. Thank you so much. I didn't catch your name, I'm sorry, but thank you for being here and thank you for asking that question. Okay. Nice to meet you. We are in our pilot year. That means that this is brand new. And it means that whoever wants to participate in it will help shape what it looks like. So if you are in high school and you are interested in starting a campus chapter, I highly recommend that you go ahead and indicate that in the survey, because that means there will be a high school campus chapter. And I'll quickly add on to that to say, because this is the pilot year, FCNL is focusing very much on providing structures of support to build local systems for people power in your community. And we're also looking to be co-creative with you, because every community is going to look different, and every community is going to need something a little bit different. So I do want to emphasize that co-creative piece for this pilot program in particular. Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Okay. Let's do one right there in the middle.
Hi, my name is Andrew. I'm from Haverford College, and my question is for Sophie. Last year I lobbied for violence interrupters for the $25 million in the appropriations bill. I was just wondering, what's the update on that?
Oh, it's honestly, I've switched a lot of my work to ceasefire work. I know that I believe the budget for this year passed and it was in there, but anything else from that, you'd have to ask Larissa or
Giselle.
Yeah, or Giselle. Yeah.
Good question. All right, one more question. It's all the way in the back.
I go. Pastor Mike. Hello. Hi, good morning. My question is if FCNL will ever lead or co-sponsor a civil disobedience event.
Ooh, that is a good question. That is a good question. We would love to hear more, right? So put that in the survey right now that you're going to fill out, and FCNL needs to reconvene to further discuss. Thank you for that question. All right, so, there.
Hi, I'm Anika Forrest, Legislative Director for Domestic Policy at FCNL. I just wanted to quickly answer Andrew's question about the violence interrupter funding that we've been doing. So last year we were looking for money that falls underneath the Community Violence Intervention Fund. That passed last week, $50 million, including funding for VI. So thank you all for your advocacy, and sort of the additional caveat is even though the overall bill that funding is included in received cuts, the funding that we were advocating for did not. So thank you for your advocacy.
Thank you. See, the people power is no joke, right? So we want to continue seeing that. So if you all can just scan the code on the last page, fill out the survey. Please let us know what ways you want to further engage with us. So we will take about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we will do our activity. So once you're done, if you can just raise your hand, just so I know who's done, that'd be great. Okay, I see a couple. All right, we'll take about a minute or so. So can we just give a round of applause to these amazing ladies? Thank you all. Thank you all for your work. Okay, so now I know everybody saw that you should have a poster in your seats, right? So does everybody have a poster? Raise your hand. Okay, and some of you also have a Sharpie. There was not enough to go around, right? So you're gonna have to share. So what we're going to be doing for the next maybe 25 minutes is we are going to be answering the question in the back of the poster, right? So this is essentially asking you why you are advocating for the Truth and Healing Commission bill. What's your why? So this is also going to help you start developing the elements of your story that you want the staffer to walk away with, right? So really start thinking about what part of my story do I want to highlight during these lobby visits, right? So we're going to give you an opportunity to start thinking about that. It could either be a word, it could be a sentence, whatever comes to mind. After you're done with that, everybody has, for the most part, has a different word, right? So as you know, our hashtag is truth, healing, and justice. So once you are done indicating what's your why, you're going to go find somebody to complete those 3 words, right? So if you have truth, you're going to go find somebody that has healing and justice, right? So network, get to know other folks, and then once you're done, right? Once you're done forming the puzzle, right? You're going to raise your hand, and there's going to be a couple photographers going around and taking your picture, right? Because we want to capture the moment. We want to capture the power that is in the room. All right, we'll get to it in like a minute or so. Just give me 1 more minute. After that, you can also, we also want to make this conference visible, right? So if you are comfortable taking a selfie, right, and post it on your Instagram or do a TikTok story, please feel free to do so and tag us, right? So our Instagram and TikTok handle is Quaker, am I missing? Quaker Lobby, right? So feel free to tag us. Feel free to tag your members of Congress, right? Because we want them to know that there's hundreds and hundreds of young adults in DC lobbying on this particular issue, right? We want to make it known. So again, once you're done, go find 2 people, form the hashtag, raise your hand, Somebody's gonna take a picture, and then if you feel comfortable taking a selfie and posting it, please do so. So we're gonna give you about 15 minutes to do that, and then we're going to reconvene and then ask folks to share their why if they feel comfortable. So feel free to do that, and then once you're done writing your why, if somebody doesn't have a Sharpie, please let them borrow it. All right, let's do it. Seconds. So make it back to your seat, please. That's good, right? You got good content? I know. They're awesome. I was like, I was not like this when I was like 22, 23 years old. I was not.
Like, what does that mean?
Like I was in college, but I was at the club and having fun time. Yeah. All right. Thank you all for doing this fun activity. Before we move on, we want to take a picture, right? So our photographer is going to be upstage, and then if we can just raise our posters, so midway, like by your chest. So we're going to take 2 pictures, right? Yes, 2 pictures. So we're going to do a high one and then one around our chest. So let's do the one around our chest first. Whatever side you wish to. Oh, the truth, justice, and healing. Sorry. All right, so by your chest first. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
We're actually gonna do 3.
All right, now let's do a high one. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And now let's do a goofy one. Okay. Just a goofy one, whatever your heart desires. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ed, Wesley, do you want to do one more? Okay. All right. Thank you all for participating. Now, I would love to hear your why. Why are you advocating for this issue? So, if you are brave enough, please raise your hand, and mic runners will go to you. So, I saw this one first, in the back.
So I have justice, and I wrote on mine justice for all, because I believe this bill will open the door for justice for more than just Indigenous and Native American groups, but for all groups that have been harmed by congressional action.
Thank you. All right, let's do this one right here in the front.
Hi, my name is Abaya. I'm from Furman University in Greenville, South Carolina, and I said I believe in community. Because of community, we can and we should, and a commitment to community is committing to others, and I believe that if there's somebody in your community, and it does not just mean it's based on one social identity that you have, but your community where you live, but the community as in the world, if somebody is being threatened, then we all have a responsibility to support that person and stand up for that person. So that's why I said community.
Absolutely. Thank you. Someone in the middle. Okay, there's one right here.
Hi, my name is Kevin Orr, and I'm from Washington, D.C. And I said that I believe in addressing the sins of the past in order to cultivate a more perfect union and more informed public.
All right. I'm going to take one right here.
I said healing generational trauma because you can't start to heal generational trauma until you acknowledge it and understand what exactly was traumatizing.
Let's do the one in the back.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vaughn. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. And I said, thank you. I said human rights and social equality for all because I believe everybody deserves dignity and respect.
Thank you. Right, there's one right here in the middle.
Hello, my name is Mafuza Anika. I'm from New York, and I believe in the right of knowing because not knowing is a terrifying feeling.
There's one right here, right there. Yeah, in the white shirt.
So I wrote down accountability because I personally have made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I continue to make mistakes in my life, but the one thing I do is I always own up to those mistakes. And I believe that this bill will hold these mistakes accountable, and people will eventually be able to learn from that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll take 3 more, all the way in the back.
Hi, my name is Ray. I am from the Native American Student Association at UTA in Texas. I believe in compassion because I think compassion moves us. We hear about these issues, we hear about injustices, we are watching them play out on Twitter because what's happening in Gaza is happening every single day. And you can't look away from it. You can't deny that it's happening. But you can be presented with an issue and you can think of, yeah, we could do something about it, but if you don't care, or if our politicians don't care, if our world doesn't care, no one will move. No one will move toward truth, healing, and justice. I think compassion is the heart of any kind of social movement, a care for the oppressed, a desire to see liberation. And so I think I believe in compassion.
Okay, right in the front.
My why, my name's Matthew, by the way. I go to Fort Lewis College, and my why is my family's trauma is real, and our experiences need to be addressed, and the truth must be heard. My grandmother was in boarding schools, and she was beaten, and it was really hard on like our whole family, and there's a lot of trauma that we still hold. So that's my why. Thank you.
One right here. I think we might have time for 2 more.
Hi there, I'm Garrett Simmons, an Advocacy Corps member from OH. And I believe in closure so that people may find peace within their lives.
Thank you. All right. All right, right here in the front.
Hi everyone, my name is Madison Jennings and I attend Agnes Scott College. Yes, I believe in change. Tony Cade Bambara once said, revolution begins in the self and then works out into the community. So I believe in change and the capacity to be better, not just on the individual level, but in the community. And I think that's why a lot of us are here, because we believe that this can happen and that it will happen. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, right there in the back.
Hi, my name is Darika Powell and I'm from Michigan.
I believe in equality, peace, and education, because if there's no equality, we're not all going to be treated the same. We need peace to be able to grow and come together as one. Education to learn from everyone and everything that is going on in the world today. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have one more from Michigan District 8. And I believe there's power in numbers, because we gonna get involved, we gonna get into it, we gonna do this.
Absolutely. 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 And that is a great segue to my closing remarks. Like she mentioned, there's power in numbers, right? So we really want to use all this energy, this amazing energy after Spring Lobby Weekend, right? I know life happens. I know we get busy. We have other responsibilities. Like yesterday, I heard a lady in the bathroom talking to her children, and this was her first time leaving them to come to DC. So I know you all have obligations, right? But change doesn't happen overnight, right? It's a journey, right? Like there's going to be times in where we probably feel so defeated, right? But the persistent makes change, right? There's so many other folks that should be in this room. I know all of you have friends, family, significant others, enemies, right? Everybody, right? Invite everybody to the movement, right? We want all of our members of Congress to hear why this issue is so important to us and why families of survivors need the healing, right? They really need to be acknowledged for all the wrongdoings that were committed. So I really do challenge you, right? Once you go back to your communities, please continue advocating for this issue and then other issues that you also care about. For example, I'm also very passionate about immigration, right? So I'm always doing something around immigration, right? But I'm also passionate about Native American boarding schools, right? So the advocacy does not stop here, right? It's a journey, right? So we really want to continue mobilizing our communities, bringing other folks into the mix, and building that people power, because change will happen if we're persistent, right? Our members of Congress needs to hear from us, and also use the power of your voice. Own your story, right? They need to hear from you because they work for you, right? So they need to hear about the issues that you care about. So thank you all so, so very much. And before I end, Larissa needs to make a couple announcements, and then it's going to be lunchtime. So thank you all once again.